This can be an absolute steal for the Washington Commanders. Today's video, we will be discussing the recent reports revolving around All-Pro, multi-time Pro Bowl cornerback who just hit the free agency market, Jaire Alexander, on him becoming a Washington Commander. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commanders Digest, reporting everything all Washington Commanders, offseason, regular season, and everything in between. So we want to be caught up to date, everything Washington Commanders. Make sure to run it up, subscribe right here to the channel. This video will be putting a spotlight on Jaire Alexander. Depending on when you're watching this video, he was just released by the Green Bay Packers. Can the Commanders go out, make a deal, sign him, put him in a Commanders uniform for this upcoming season? I will be breaking that down for you. I've done the research. I got the stats. I got the quotes. So you don't have to. We will be breaking it down. But before we dive deep into it, if you are a new watcher, new viewer to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We do have a subscriber goal of trying to hit 500. Yes, 500 subscribers by week 1 of the NFL season. Game 1 is 12 weeks away. I know we could do it because everything's been up. Y'all have been running it. I had to give it to y'all. Y'all have been running it up, Y'all have been running it up, revolving around the likes, the views, the shares. Really do appreciate that. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer, make sure you are subscribed because 87.5 of y'all who are watching the videos are not subscribed. That's crazy because it's for the free skis. It doesn't charge you nothing. And it takes like 2 seconds. So what would be the cons? Honestly, what are the cons of not subscribing? I wouldn't even know. But back to the video. Jaire Alexander. If you don't know him, we'll give you a little bit of background. Cornerback, 5'10", 196 pounds for all you sickos who need that visual representation. He's 28 years old. He was drafted in 2018 by the Green Bay Packers. He spent his whole career with the Packers, 7 seasons. So once he laces up his boots, whatever team he plays for, this upcoming season will be his 8th. So clap it up for him. We will be talking about his injury history a little bit. With all the injuries he's had, to still be playing at this elite level is great to see. Now, how does this relate to the Commanders? Now, I'm pretty sure everybody can agree, from the casual to the lifelong football fans, that the leaps the Commanders have made in the last couple of years have been gigantic. We can all admit that with any metric, whatever measurement you want to do the data from, that the Commanders have surpassed it, overcame it, blown out expectations from 2 years ago, last year to right now. They have done a complete 180. I don't know, maybe certain people had to leave, but let me keep my mouth shut about that. We don't want to mention them. We don't want to bring up bad juju, but how does it relate? Back in 2023, the Commanders had the worst, yes, the worst pass defense with all the league. They make changes. They get AP, Adam Peterson gang. They make changes. They get new players. They go out, they go get players. They draft well. And they went, like I said, 2023, worst pass defense in the whole league. Then 2024, the next season after last season, they reached the highest at 3rd best pass defense in all the league. There we go. If you made this far into the video, oh, you can't even see it. WAP and gang, because they have that's what you got to do. You always got to look what fits best, who can mesh well together. And it makes sense. Maybe not going exactly 1 year from today to last year, but within a 2-year span, we're going to be breaking it down. Within a 2-year span, they go get Marshawn Lattimore in the trade deadline last year. They draft Trey Amos this year. Mike Still, you drafted him last year. Absolute stud. You also get Noah I mispronounce his last name. You know what I'm talking about. Noah I. Last year was his first season with the Commanders. He outperforms it. You get Jonathan Jones, 2-time Super Bowl champion. You just recently signed him in the offseason. You make all these different changes. So I know it can be a little frustrating for a Commanders fan when we do these videos like, oh my God, the Commanders have another player on the radar. Why can't they just stick with the... I always look at it, you got to look at it from the glass half full. It's not a Commanders Digest video. We don't throw in a quote in there. But believe it, I take it as a compliment when the Commanders are always on that carousel of player or carousel of teams looking at high-profile players. Because it wasn't too long ago where the Commanders were a laughing stock. I'm pretty sure all Commanders fans can agree that they were a laughing stock. No one wanted to do the Commanders because I mentioned that already. That regime, the way they ran it, the things that were going on and everything, but no one wanted to go. There were players who have come out and said, yeah, when my contract was up, I left. So I take it as a compliment. The Commanders are always in that carousel of teams looking at high-profile players, because it wasn't too long ago where they were a laughing stock. And now all of a sudden, when there's a player insert player's name and Commanders, you're like, okay, there's some truth to this. So I always take it as a compliment. Now, when doing my research on Alexander, I did notice a similarity with him and Marshall Lattimore. Now, okay, hold on right here. Okay, hold it on. Take it, I don't know if you want to look at it, is it good or bad? Let me know in the comments down below. But they do have that characteristic where when they're injured, you definitely notice it within their performance or their play style. But when they're healthy, they play at an all elite level. Let me break it down for you. Because look, in 2021, I'm gonna throw out a lot of stats right here. So get ready. 2021, Alexander only plays 4 games. He only plays 4 games. He injures his shoulder. He's out for most of the season. 2023, back and shoulder injuries, only plays 7 games. 2024, last season, knee injury, he only plays 7 games. Okay, look, you see that he gets hurt. He doesn't play most. Okay, now look at this. 2020 plays 15 games. What happens? All-Pro, Pro Bowler. 2022 plays 16 games. All-Pro, Pro Bowler. There's enough statistics right there to prove that. Okay, when he's hurt, you're gonna notice it. You're gonna notice it within the defense. But when he's on the field, he plays at an elite level. Now, how much does that affect you guys' mindset on having him on the field? Do you take that risk? Is it because we've seen AP and Gang? They go all in. They're just going all in when it comes to the offense. Can they take that same momentum, take that same mindset on the defense, go all in, and go get this guy, Alexander, put him on the team? Yes, he has shown when he's injured, you don't see him at all. But when he's healthy, he plays at an absolute elite level. Now, that is a problem where you do have Marshall Lattimore. Okay, this dude's already injury prone, all this and all that. Do you really want to bring in another guy who's also has a long list of injury history? But like I said, we mentioned a ton of people within that cornerback free safety position. Is there enough depth where if one of them goes down, it won't be noticeable? You guys let me know in the comments down below. We will be looking at some of his stats. Like I said, we'll be breaking it down. Look, he only played, like I said, 7 games. But in those 7 games, he had 2 interceptions and he had a touchdown. Look at that. He had a 52-yard touchdown. He also had a recovered fumble and he had 15 solo tackles. 5'10", like I said, 28 years. So how much does that affect you guys' opinion on, yes, he does have an injury history, but when he's on the field, you notice it. Look at that. How many, there's cornerbacks who don't even have those stats in 16, 17, 15 games. So he does. I do believe he still has that spark that he can still play at an elite level. We're going to be looking at what Mike Fisher from Athlon Sports has to say on it. Alexander on paper will give the Commanders something they haven't had in decades, a second all-pro caliber corner to join the likes of Lattimore on the outside. Of course, Lattimore hasn't really panned out yet either. Okay, let's break it down. We have done a video on Marshall Lattimore being the X factor for the Commanders in the upcoming season. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it after this one. So, and I mentioned it already. Do you think it's appropriate? Is that the right word for it? Would it make sense for the Commanders to go get Alexander and have 2 all-pro caliber corners on your team, but they're injury prone, quote unquote? Would that make sense? Because you do have this laundry list of people you can fluctuate in. You do have Trey Amos. You do have Mike Sainristil, Noah I. These guys won't be having a huge workload, Alexander, Lattimore, when it comes to playing, because you have all these different options. But you guys let me know in the comments. We're also going to see what Chris Seawick from Yahoo Sports giving you more details on the situation regarding him leaving the Green Bay Packers and what could look like him becoming, what his moves could be within this free agency market. After signing a 4-year, $84 million extension in 2022, Alexander was set to make over $16 million in 2025. The Packers reportedly offered Alexander a restructured deal in May, which would have resulted in Alexander taking a pay cut. It appears Alexander did not want to take that deal, leading to his reported release. The last 2 seasons in which Alexander played double-digit games, he made the Pro Bowl. That should give the 28-year-old a number of options now that he's reportedly hit the free agency market. Given the injury struggles, Alexander may need to settle for a short-term deal if he can stay healthy and return to form. Okay, there we go. Clap it up for the great quote by Chris. Breaking it down, yes, he was planning on making $16 million, and the Packers were like, no, you haven't performed. Like I said, 2023, 2024, he only played 7 games each. While we want to pay you $16 million, 2025, you can't stay healthy. They cut him. Okay, it makes sense. But we talked about it before on the channel. The Commanders were 3rd highest cap space once the offseason happened. Okay, obviously they wasted money. But have they been smart with their money where they can afford to take this big of a risk? Because projections are showing that there could be a bidding war for Alexander, depending on the other teams involved, that there could be a deal done where he makes 20 million a year, up to that. And he's not taking anything less than 16 million because he wanted that from the Packers and they were like, nah, we're cutting you. So you guys let me know. What do we think about this? Do you think Alexander could be that factor, that X factor, along with Lattimore? Imagine it. There could be a world where you have one side Marshall Lattimore and another side Jaire Alexander playing in a Commander's uniform. Imagine saying that 2 years ago, just 2 years ago in general. It wouldn't make you, everybody would look at you crazy. But like I said, they have created that culture within Washington where people do want to play for the organization because there is a future. There is a possibility of winning. I mean, there is, but there's a possibility. You know, I'm not saying it, but projections are showing Commanders having a high seed, a high Super Bowl. I'm not saying it, but that's what the people are saying. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it makes sorry, maybe this was a planned all along? Whoopsie. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Just letting you know that before. But I told you, you had enough time throughout the video, so hit that subscribe button. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it makes sense to go get Jaire Alexander, put him in a Commander's uniform, line him with Marshall Lattimore, or is it just you're crazy? He's in the injury history, he can't stay healthy, yada yada. Do you go take that chance? Do you go all in and go get him? You guys let me know. If anything breaks within the Commanders atmosphere, will be covered right here on the channel. I'm Azael Mejia with Commander Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.